Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about One Piece. Finally guys, I know I'm super late. I should have made some of these videos a long time ago, but this is first of many hopefully. And today we're talking about Nothing Happened. Yes, we're gonna go a little back. I'm currently on episode 425 on Patreon and it's crazy. We're in Impel Down, so much shit is happening. But we're gonna rewind it back a little bit to when it all started, when the epicness started. I personally feel like it all started at that point where Zoro said nothing happened. Well, a little bit before that, when Kuma arrived, knowing everything about the crew and just putting us all in our place, that was just tremendous. The way Zoro just put it all on himself, knocked out Sanji. I have to give props to Sanji as well, because my boy really wanted a piece of that action. But Zoro said, hell no, he knocked him out, and I fully agree on some of your comments saying that Sanji is a little weaker than Zoro. And that, I would argue, that little difference in their strength is the thing that kept Zoro alive. Because Zoro absorbed all that damage that Kuma took from Luffy and gave it to Zoro, and he survived. I would argue Sanji wouldn't, because there is a little difference between their strength, power level, and Zoro practically saved Sanji at that point. He was not ready for all that. I also love the detail of Zoro surviving the accumulated damage that Luffy took over the course of a few fights, because his body is made out of rubber, so it can sustain a lot more damage than an ordinary body. So for Kuma to transfer all that damage and scar tissue onto Zoro, and Zoro surviving all that, that was insane. That was insane, and it just showed the bravado that Zoro has, the aura of him just standing there, bleeding all over the place. Like there were stains, blood stains, puke stains, everyday stains from his bodily fluids all over the place, sweat, tears, everything. And then Sanji asked, what happened? And then Zoro was like, nothing happened. That was just the overall portrayal of what awaits us in One Piece from this point on. Because I'm not gonna lie, the Moria arc that we were in at that point didn't really do much for me. Moria as a Shichibukai was definitely the weakest so far in my eyes. I liked Crocodile way more. He was smarter. Hey, arguably he had a better power. But ultimately, the Moria arc was entertaining. It had a Halloween vibe around it, but it didn't do much for me. I would like to say that Moria did open my eyes, considering what happened in the future in the archipelago, right? The admirals, hey, crazy, but we're gonna talk about that in another video. Moria did open my eyes to a point where he said he tried to amass this ginormous shadow zombie army so he would never lose his Nakama again, because the new world is different. There are different beasts out there. And Luffy, hey, I did not expect Luffy to find that out even before entering the new world. But he did. And he lost all his Nakama. He lost all his Nakama. Almost. But hey, thanks to Kuma, they all survived thanks to Kuma. Let's be honest. If not for Kuma, which is, I also have a lot of theories around Kuma, why he did what he did. What did he whisper to Rayleigh before he sent Luffy away, right? Hey, Kuma, they said Kuma knows Dragon, which is Luffy's dad. So there's a lot of connections here, a lot of little foreshadowing, him whispering to Rayleigh right in front of the Admiral. I have a lot of theories around Kuma as well, which I'm gonna do again in a separate video if you guys want. Tell me in the comments what you would like to see on the channel of me discussing around One Piece, what thoughts you want me to share in separate videos aside from my reactions like I'm doing now. But back to the topic. Moria opened my eyes that the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows, and Luffy can't continue on his path like he is now, and that was proven to us moments later, right? Because Luffy got decimated. I have never seen Luffy so devastated, yo. But again, in another video, Moria opened my eyes to that. He was completely right. So that kind of makes me think that Moria maybe was somebody else in a different life, right? Before, maybe he was ambitious like Luffy. His soul just got crushed when he lost his Nakama. And they said he was defeated by one of the emperors of the sea. I think his name is Kaido. So that's also very interesting, right? And you guys also argued that Moria was like, because I argued Moria was the weakest Shichibukai we've ever seen. But you guys said, no, he's actually very strong. But he kind of let himself go because he's obviously out of shape. My man built like a bag of milk. But you guys keep telling me no, back in the day he was, right? He was actually a beast, but when he got defeated, decimated, lost his nakama, he kind of lost his will to live. And he kind of put all his chips in creating this mass zombie army so he would never feel that again, right? And he kind of let himself go because he doesn't need to be that strong when he has an immortal army on his hands. So that kind of made it better for me, not gonna lie. You guys in the comments explaining some things to me kind of made that arc a bit better for me, because like I said, it wasn't that impressive. It really wasn't, considering it was about a Shichibukai. But moving on, the very ending of that arc hyped me to the max. The nothing happened moment was literally the gates opening on epicness, pure peak. This show is just, it finally reached the levels of Naruto and Dragon Ball and Bleach. The hype is crazy, and now, seeing the hype, I kinda tend to appreciate the moments before way more. I was really enjoying this show even before, especially the Nami arc with the Arlong Park and all that, but you know, it had such depth to those arcs that it was amazingly written. But now that I see such peak in the show, it makes me appreciate those moments even more, because that's amazing writing. That's the author actually taking the time to build the story and characters, and now that we see them in these desperate situations, I personally tend to appreciate it way more, because we know a lot about these characters and their backgrounds, and there's still more to explore. So One Piece is definitely a very detailed world, which I'm very happy that I stumbled upon and am eager to continue. Nothing happened moment solidified Zoro as one of my top characters in this show. Not that he wasn't before, but now, yo, I look at him differently every time. And I also loved the moment where Sanji found out what happened and told everybody, don't tell, right? But of course Robin found out, and Brooke knew, and a lot of people know, but they're keeping it to themselves. Luffy never found out. So a lot of this show really has a lot of hidden gems, just like Naruto, a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of little details. Like the arc after that with Duval, that was a goofy arc, but it foreshadowed Haki. Luffy actually displaying Haki with that bison of the walls by telling it, let's not do this, and the bison started acting really weird. It was terrified, because I'm assuming it sensed Luffy's conqueror Haki and his disposition to stand above everybody, because he's apparently a bloodline of kings or something. They're yet to explain that, but damn, if they introduce the concept of Haki into the devil fruits, yeah, we definitely need that. We definitely need that in this show, because I personally feel like Luffy's not strong enough. And I would argue the Moria arc also introduced that zombie mode of Luffy's, where he consumed 1,000 shadows or 100 shadows and became zombie Luffy, and it kind of showed that Luffy can attain new forms that we haven't seen before, and it's not just the gears. So I'm definitely arguing that Luffy in the future, this is my theory, but he's definitely gonna unlock a new ability, a new form or something, just like the Super Saiyan forms, because I feel that he's not strong enough in these forms. Gear 2, Gear 3 was enough for CP9 members, and even with that, he barely beat Lucci and escaped NS Lobby, right, the Buster Call. But now that we've seen what threat awaits him, the Shichibukai, the Admirals, yo, I think Luffy needs to unlock a new power. Or we need to kinda explore more this Haki thing, because Haki definitely ain't no joke. Shanks made everybody pass out just by walking. So Haki definitely has a lot of potential in improving Luffy and his overall fighting capabilities, because as he is now, he's not gonna be able to protect his crew. Not from the threat level of the new world. And we haven't even reached the Fishman Island. That was the original goal, and we couldn't even reach that. We got decimated. Sure, it was because Luffy punched a celestial dragon, but more on that in a different video. This one is reserved for Nothing Happened and the Moria arc, which, like I said, I learned to appreciate more than I did as I was watching it, because of all the little hidden gems and details that it portrayed. And Moria is still here, so we might find out more about him in the future. But as of now, I am utterly enjoying One Piece. One Piece is finally on the level of Naruto and Bleach, And if it continues like this, it might actually surpass them. Like, now I understand why it's one of the big three. In the beginning I was like, yo, this is good, but is it really on the level of Naruto and Bleach and Dragon Ball, because I consider Dragon Ball to be one of the OGs. But now I see it. Now I see it, and the hype just started. Like, it's still continuing, and it doesn't seem to be showing any signs of slowing down. So Luffy, Zoro, everybody else needs to improve, and I'm waiting on that, because I need them stronger so they can actually confront all these enemies in the new world. Not just in the new world, even before the new world. The admirals, right? Because, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these moments that I witnessed in this show so far, peak. Actual peak. Peak! Okay? So these are my thoughts around Moria and around that arc and Duval, and but I'm gonna talk about the archipelago and what happened in a separate video. This was just an introductory video around me talking about One Piece and sharing my thoughts. I wanted to do this on a live stream as well, but I'm still yet to figure that out. I've never live streamed before, so tell me in the comments what you want to see. Tell me the topics you want me to talk about. Tell me what you want to hear, and also tell me if you want to hear, right? Because I don't do this much, so if I'm gonna take the time to actually express my thoughts outside of my reactions, I would like to know whether you guys are gonna watch it or not, whether you're interested or not. That being said, guys, tell me in the comments all your thoughts, all your suggestions. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe so you can support the channel, Patreon, and see you in the next one. Bye, guys.